Microcontroller is up and running, we could rewire our data to max. It is done through a number of objects, but the main object is called serial. Now, as I don't know what serial number is attached to, serial port attached to, we can print out all the information with the command print. And in the console we have A, B, C, and D, and what we need to look for is WCH USB serial, and it is attached to the port called C. So next to the serial object we write port name C, and next to the port we still need to write what speed the data is encoded, the baud rate, so called. So it is always written into the code of Arduino, and if you don't know, open up Arduino code and find this rate, baud rate. In our case it is 9600. So now as we have configured serial port, we need to pick up the number fully from the microcontroller. And if you remember, we have been using an object called metro in order to pick up the information at certain rate. So metro has now some interval defined, so let's write half of a second, and with toggle we could turn our metro object on, and in order to output our picked up number we can do with an object called print. Okay, so let's see what we have. So if we now cover our light sensor, we don't see much change in our console, but what we see always that certain number repeats number 13 and repeats number 10. These numbers are defining in serial how serial port is encoding the information. So if I remember it well, the number 10 would mean carriage return, a new line of recorded data, and number 13 would mean the beginning of line. So what we need to do, we need to select all the other numbers which are defined between those two. So if you will see, so we have 13, 10, and then 55, 51, and 50, or something pretty much similar. So for selecting the range of numbers we need, we could do with object called select. And now we can select number 13, the beginning of the line, if I remember it well, and number 10, which defines the end of the line, I believe. So we connect now serial object to select object, and then we see three outcomes defined by 13, 10, and all the remaining information. So what we need to bank our object when it picks up 13, so I believe it's carriage return. and we need to group the remaining objects into the package so it would give us the right information picked up from the light sensor or any other sensor. This is being done with an object called ZL, and ZL object has then additional arguments. So if you need to group three numbers into the one, so we write group, and if we need to group three numbers, so we write additionally number 3. So if you would connect now the bank, and then if you need to pick up all the numbers which are in between 13 and 10, so we need to pick up the remaining all the rest numbers, which is output through the right outlet. So let's see what we have with an object. Print. We don't need for now this one. So if we have now output three numbers, 55, 51, 51. If we would cover our light sensor, so the number would be different, 52, 48, 56, for example. So the number would vary. What we need to do now is to convert serial number into the ASCII number, and this is being done with one more object called integer to ASCII ITOA. If we connect now to this object, and if we see what it outputs, we can use again our print object. So now we would have output number, converted number from ASCII to integer, and this would be 735, for example. If we would cover our light sensor, so the number would go down and up, so you can see that the number is changing. So now we can do whatever you want with this number. For example, we could allocate this number into the LED we connected to our microcontroller. And this is we will be doing in our next tutorial.